interesting reaction I got from one of my videos, actually the one that I did last week on Friday. I got someone telling me that there are some partners apparently who will pull you down, and it's absolutely true. Not that I didn't know this, but I didn't expect that someone will actually come out and tell me, by there, do you know that there are some people who will literally pull you down in a relationship, and they will pull you down in all manner of ways. I want you to understand that some of these ways, if not all of them, are actually abuse. So first thing you need to know, what is abuse? There's physical abuse, where you're punched, pulled around, slapped around and all that. Yeah, so that's physical abuse. Then there is emotional abuse. Emotional abuse is where someone is mistreating you emotionally, taking advantage of your emotions, manipulating you, telling you things like, you're stupid, you're an idiot, you're bad, you can't make it, you're useless. That is emotional abuse. And also just kawaida insults, ng'ombe wewe, umbwa wewe, others will even call you malaya, prostitute, and all those kinds of words. That is emotional abuse. Then there is financial abuse or economic abuse, where someone is limiting your expenditure, limiting probably even how much you will earn or how much you will make. Yes, and if, for example, you do not make anything, say you're unemployed, this person will determine how much money they will give you, and usually they don't give you enough money for your own matumizi. They just give you enough to keep you coming back for more. You become a beggar in your relationship as far as finances are concerned. Okay, and there are others who will not even allow you to get a job. They will not allow you to work. I used to have a neighbor back in the day who never allowed his wife to even set up a small online biashara. Forget ile ya kuenda getting employed out there. Even a small, just online biashara where she can just sell some things of hers that she's talented in making. And that's the kind of abuses that are out there. There could be more, I don't know, you can tell me in the comment section. So getting back to the conversation I was having with this viewer who said that there are partners who will pull you down, have you ever noticed that every time you share something with your partner, and this might be true or might not be true for you right now, maybe you have a very supporting partner who, when you tell them something, they're like, hey babe, good job, there are partners who, even when you give them an idea, they will tell you, kidogo sioni kuweza. And there are genuine responses. There are genuine people who will criticize you in a genuine way. They'll tell you, okay, babe, you want to sell what mandazi? I know in this area, to be honest, no one takes mandazi, so you might be doing a biashara that won't work. Or you want to venture into, say, dancing, and to be honest, you have two left feet. That's positive criticism, and it's actually positive. It's a positive way of telling you, don't do it, because you can't dance. Yeah, so your partner will tell you, don't get into dancing, or you want to teach people dancing and you don't know how to dance, because kama ujui utapeanaje kitu ujui. They usually say, make sure that your cup is full before you share your cup or empty it into other people's cups. Yeah, but there are those who will always tell you, regardless of what you tell them. You tell them, I want to start a boga biashara, they tell you, hawezi. You want to start a boda biashara, haiwezi. You want to start selling fish, hauwezi. Back in Africa Mali, you ask them, okay, babe, then what do you think I'm good for? Or what do you think I'm good at? Give me an idea of a biashara, then I can start. That's when you realize these people actually think very little of you. They don't think that you can make it. They don't think you can do it. They don't think you have what it takes. Yeah? And you should actually realize these things mapema. I always tell people, make sure you realize these things mapema before you waste your time and your partner's time. So, asking your partner what you can do, and they tell you that you can't make it, and they tell you that you can't do it, that's a big red flag. It's a huge flag. It's not even a big red. It's a huge flag. Like it's in your face. It should be blinding you by now. If you can't see, then you also have a problem. There are partners who also, they will not want you to advance career-wise. So let's say you want to go back to university, or even you've never been to university and you want to start college. You want to probably do, I don't know, a course, in the TVET, or you want to get into degree, or you want to do your master's, because if you advance your education, then that means that at the workplace you might get promoted, and that scares them. They're like, okay, so if my babe goes back to school and does this university degree, he or she is going to become, more qualified than me, or she or he is going to get big opportunities, then she or he is going to leave me behind. They're going to advance, they're going to start making more money than me, and that will make them better than me. Better. I'm putting better EV, because I believe if you're a couple, when one of you is good, both of you are good. When one of you is better, both of you are best, actually, for lack of a better word. All of you, like, you will move together as a unit. If today I happen to get an opportunity that is going to take me to London or Germany or Pretoria, Johannesburg, Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, I expect my babe to be happy for me, because that means that we get to advance to Germany together. We get to go to London together. We get to go to Washington, D.C. together. But if I tell her that, hey babe, there's this opportunity coming up and I might be going to New York, and then she's like, or she doesn't want me to go to New York, then that is someone who doesn't want progress, not just for me, but even for herself. You should be happy when your partner is getting opportunities, when they're getting, what are they called? Promotions in the office. She was here in the office, maybe she was just a person, a clerk in the office, but now she has moved up. She's a supervisor, or she's a manager. You should be happy for your bae. I can imagine you should, because that means more money. That means more income for you guys. That means you can do more. You can probably build a home if you didn't have one. That means that you can buy new furniture, probably buy a car if you didn't have one, or even buy a better car than the one that you have. But the moment your bae is getting that promotion in the office, and now you start thinking, we are niacha, then that means that that relationship already has a problem. It already had a problem, and the problem didn't start with the promotion. The problem didn't start when this person was offered a new opportunity in the office. No. It basically means that this relationship ilikuwa na shida kutoka hapo mbele. And how do you deal with such a situation? How? Because if you don't deal with it, it metamorphosizes, it morphs, and it becomes something bad. That is where you will find a husband starts to become violent on the wife, because that means if, for example, you want to get back to school, chances are you will have to take evening classes, right? So that means if you were coming home at 5 p.m., now you might start having to come home at 8 or even 9 p.m. because you have to commute, or you have to deal with traffic, or you have to, there's a whole dynamic that comes with such kinds of changes. And your husband will start looking at you weirdly because you're coming home now at 8. You probably have to be talking to your professor and, talking to your professor about your assignments, or because you don't understand something in class, you call your professor and be like, hey, prof, daktari, hapa kuna kitu ulifunza sikuelewa. And then your husband is like, why are you talking to, strange men I've never met before? Who is that who's calling you? This person is called Dr. Kevin. You're wondering, why is Dr. Kevin calling you? Are you sick? Because your husband now starts to feel intimidated. And even your wife might start feeling it, because now probably you're talking to your female professor and he's like, okay, why do you keep calling Dr. Jane all the time? And you're just calling because you're in school. It's part of the process of being at the university. But now your partner starts to feel, okay, now you're closer to another man, you're closer to another woman more than you. So if you do not deal with these things, if you get that promotion in the office and now you have to answer to your boss or your superior, or because when you're like in a managerial level, there are things that are called reports. You have to be submitting reports every now and then, and that means a lot of communication with your superiors, because now you're in charge of a larger group, you're responsible for a group, and now you have to report to your superiors about the performance of the group. And then now your partner is wondering, hey, nowadays you're calling your boss a lot, Kwani? Yeah? You're having these meetings outside office hours. What's going on? You know? If your partner doesn't understand the dynamics that come with a promotion or the dynamics that come with advancement, then now you have a problem, because he or she will feel like your attention is the attention you used to give him is now on the other side of your advancement of your career. And that's now where abuse starts coming in. Yeah, the person will start calling you a prostitute or a slut, or the names that people use, and you will start wondering, what's going on? My partner has changed. Your partner hasn't changed. Intimidation has set in, and yes, by virtue of that, then yes, maybe your partner has changed. So these are things you need to discuss, and I think they need to be discussed even earlier in when you're setting into a relationship. Just understand your partner, know their ambitions, know like their trajectory in life. Like, babe, what's your plan in the next 5 years? These are questions. They look like they're professional questions that are usually asked at what is it called, when you go for interviews, but they should be normal questions even in relationships, and especially on the onset. At the onset, ask this person, okay, so I like you, you like me, what's your plan, bana, career wise? What's your plan? So that you can know if this person wants to go back to school and how you can help in that endeavor. Are you going to help them pay for fees? Are you going to have to sacrifice your own time so that you can advance theirs? And there's nothing wrong with that, guys, by the way. There's nothing with you laying down your ambitions so that you can support the ambitions of your partner. And especially if your partner's ambitions can be the breaking point between your success as a family, as a couple, and your downfall financially. Let me put it that way. If your wife has got the opportunity to go and work for the UN, for example, and she's going to be stationed in a place like Geneva, New York, Berlin, and other places, if she has that opportunity, you want to tell me utamkazia just because you and your small mind want to stay in Kenya, where we are currently suffering right now economically, politically, and every other way? If she has the opportunity to go to a place like Qatar and work there as the manager of Qatar Airways, where you'll be catching flights every single day, you want to tell me that you will not want her to get that opportunity? Who doesn't want to go to Qatar? Who doesn't want to go to Dubai? Who doesn't want to go to Washington, New York? Who doesn't want to go to London? Me today, if my babe told me she has gotten an opportunity to go to London, my friend, I do not care how much of a personality I am here in Kenya, I am leaving. We are going to London. Mimi nitaenda huko, I'll be having tea with the King Charles III. Okay, maybe not, but you get what I mean. I want to go and see where Liverpool play. I've never been to Anfield. I want to go to Old Trafford. I want to go to Etihad Stadium. Mimi wife leo aniambia tunaenda London. Amepata job London. Bro, I'm gonna become, you will see, me, I'll become a simp. I'll be there, I'll do everything for her to make sure she's comfortable, because I want to live the good life as well. If today she tells me, babe, I've gotten this opportunity to be the CEO of out wanozanga ma Range Rover anaitwa aje, Areme, bro, I'll be happy for her. I will quit my job, I will stay at home and to take care of the kids, as long as she's driving a Range Rover back home every single day, and me, I get mine as well. Yeah, I know it might sound cocky, it might sound simping, it might, mwanaume mwingine anasikia sema angalia wewe mwanaume, unaweza kukaa nyumbani ushughulikie watoto. I will do it, as long as we are not struggling to pay rent, as long as we are not, probably we'll even have our own home. Yeah, we'll build our own big mansion, as long as we're not struggling with things like rent, as long as we're not struggling driving a jalopy around where it breaks down every 2 minutes. My friend, I do not care what you're going to call me. because what I'm looking for is success. And that is what you need to do. So in conclusion, if you're with a partner who is not supporting your dreams, or at least who is trying to build you, ask yourself some very important and pertinent and strong questions. Maswali ya nguvu. And if you're that partner who's pulling your partner down, whether you're abusing them emotionally, financially, and physically, please let them go. Wacha mtoto wa wenyewe aende. Wacha akatafute mwenye atampenda venye anafaa kupendwa, mwenye atasupport ambition zake. Tafadhali wacha kukaa na mtu kila siku unashinanga ukimtukana, unashinanga ukimchapa. It is not okay. Let them go. Stop pulling your partner down. All the best.